Good morning, day, afternoon, good noon to you all.
Good noon.
Hello. Welcome
Hi.
to Liquid Lunch on a Hold on, Kennedy. On a Monday. It is we are live. We're not normally live on a Monday, but today is a special day. It's a birthday. It's a birthday of one of our favorite styles of beer, whether you know it or not. Today is the birthday of the Pilsner, and we're going to talk all about it. But joining me right now, as you can hear, the sniffles and the giggles and the snorts and the grunts, for whatever reason.
You're the
Joining
grunt.
us
I'm the
from
snort.
Studio South, Kennedy and Jules.
Yay! Hey guys.
Hi. Hold on.
I don't know what all the grunts and the giggles were.
We're probably still recovering from yesterday.
Yeah.
Little bit. Hold on. Jules is here.
Hi guys.
I know. Hold on.
Oh yeah.
We should do it. Oh, hey, dude, you gotta wait.
You gotta wait. He's gotta do
Gotta
the
wait.
music. There you go.
And then we missed.
That's okay.
There you go.
There.
There.
I'll
Oh,
do it-
and now
I'll
he
do it
does. Yep.
And then, as always, to your to my right, or I guess to my front, and to your screen right. I guess I don't know. I can't really tell. That's Kennedy. We're gonna do the warm up, Kennedy. Woo!
Hey, how's it going? I'm Kennedy.
All right, so there we are. We're right back into it. Jules, welcome back.
Thank
Been
you.
Far too long. Far too long.
I know.
I thought you said fart.
No.
Either way,
That would be you,
either
not
way,
me. But yeah.
that could happen too.
Mhm.
Nothing is out of bounds on this show so far as noise is coming from y'all's end. Studio South. We call it Studio
Studio
South for a reason.
Studio South. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so everybody, today is the birthday of Pilsner, and Pilsner is great. Speaking of, you said you went to B52 yesterday, right, to
Mhm.
celebrate Jules' your
did.
birthday. Happy birthday,
Yep.
by the way, Jules.
Thank you. Thank you. It was a wonderful, wonderful day.
Well, I'm so happy that you finally made it to 27.
Yeah.
And you know, so
Yeah.
just happy birthday. It was the best year ever.
It was. The 26 was, pretty awesome.
Yeah.
27 is going to be even better. As long as I keep staying younger than this guy, I'll be all right.
Done and done. But that's a pretty low bar. 'Cause
Yeah, that's true.
everybody's younger
That's true.
than his
Point.
old self.
Good point, Josh.
But it's interesting though that B52, so a little Houston beer history, as the one of the renowned, what would you call me? A beer historian of Houston of sorts, a chronicler of all things beer in Houston for the last 8 or 9 years. What year are we in? 28 years, 9 years, 8.5 years, whatever it's been. Anyway, when B52 first came upon the scene, they debuted at the Katy Wild West Brew Fest, their Pilsner, and it won. And that was kind of their big coming out party, was that they won Beer of the Year at
Oh.
the Katy Wild West. I believe it was either the first or may have been the first Katy Wild West Brew Fest, or if not, it was the second. It was back before they moved it to the big mall parking lot. It was in the quaint little whatever you call that little park area that they used to have it in. But anyway, yeah, so that's where they won.
That's cool.
And that was a Pilsner. Did you guys try any of B52's Pilsner?
Did you have it? I know Danielle did.
Yeah, they have a dry hop Pilsner.
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic. That was my first. Knowing what we were going to do today, that was my first beer.
Yeah,
Very
and yeah, I know Danielle did. I had their fest beer, which was very, very good. Very good. One of the best ones I've had.
Well, we're in fest beer season for
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah.
And those Germans, can we just tip our hats to the Germans real quick, because they brew great beers. I mean, look, everybody likes
They do.
IPAs and things like that, but when you want to talk about just chilling on a sunny day
Mm-hmm.
and sipping a bunch of beers, you're gonna go lagers a lot of the time,
Yeah.
because they're no fuss. They're just good and crispy and delicious. And the Pilsner, chief among them. Right?
Yep.
Now, I
Matt
knew
says the Pils there was good, still is.
There you go. Nothing's coming up.
As far as chats go. Well, I'm monitoring the chat, so people chat away. And,
No, I'm trying
I'm trying to,
until
but
we can actually see them.
Oh,
it's not.
okay. Well, I'll just stall. I've done some research, which is hasn't been
Jeez.
There
done
we go.
since maybe the 4th episode of Liquid Lunch. So we're going to get into the history of the Pilsner. We've got even some pictures and that sort of thing. So I'll just keep talking about that.
All right,
Wow.
I am good to go. I did all my pre-show work.
There you go. Finally got
can-
the pre-show work.
We can,
Now
we
do
can.
the show work.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did all the pre-show work, and I kind of worked up a thirst,
Yeah.
a huge thirst.
All right. So let's take a look at our wrists and our phones and our whatever else, computer screens. Hey, Rick Tyler, how are you?
Rick Tyler is moving
Yeah,
to Missouri.
moving to Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
Well, you got a hey. There's Mary. I see Jules say good morning to Mary. I don't. Let's see everybody's watching. All right. Well, everybody, look at your computer screens. Look at your phone screens. Look at your wrists if you have one of those fancy schmancy watches, or if you're super old school, or out of your pocket like Kennedy likes to do with his pocket watch. And let's see just what time it is.
It's time for your favorite segment and mine here on Liquid Lunch. This is
What you drinking?
And there we go. And as always, we are gentlemen on this show. So, ladies first. Jules.
Kennedy's got my. Oh,
What are you drinking, Julie?
well, actually, hold on, BRB.
Y'all drinking a door left open in the back?
No, we have to leave that door open because did you hear a knock?
No, not yet. I'm gonna get my. I
Oh.
forgot.
Okay, look.
Somebody's not a fan.
Not a fan of the Pilsner style.
Probably not. He's not getting Pilsner.
An interesting
I
show
have.
to make a return. She's not a fan of Pilsner.
I have a 6-pack of Pilsner right here.
To me, one of the
I
best
think I want to
Pilsners.
drink this. You didn't
So-
pour me beer.
Here we go. This is what I've got. Pilsner. You know, it's the Pilsner show, right?
I know, but I don't have a Pilsner. That's why I wasn't sure. I'll drink your Pilsner.
Oh, well, let's no. Okay, so are you both drinking a Pilsner?
Yeah.
So here's the great thing about a Pils. That Pils especially. One, you can drink it straight out of the can, and it's going to be delicious. Or you can pour it in the, although a great glass from Belson, not proper glassware.
I don't have a Pilsner glass.
That's okay. That's okay. It really is okay.
Do me a
Pilsners
favor.
are meant to be
Look there.
enjoyed with no fuss.
Look on
Although they can stand on their own as elegant,
it.
like champagne.
Yeah.
But
Look,
go ahead.
It'll pop up there.
Hey, when y'all talk on your,
Uh-huh.
people can't hear. You can still hear y'all.
I know. He's teaching me what to do, like after that.
Oh, I get it. It's great.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying everybody hears what's going on there.
Well,
So
I can't. I don't have a quick button to mute my mic and do this.
Oh.
Anyway,
Yeah.
here you go.
Thank you.
Here you go, sweet baby.
Thank you.
we need to step that up then. We need to step that up. You guys need some super sweet buttons.
I know.
Live Oak Pills.
All right, on a scale of 1 to 10,
Austin's original Pilsner.
yeah, I would give Live Oak Pill probably a 9.98.
Okay.
The only reason I wouldn't give it a 10 is because when I went to my HEB yesterday, they were all out.
Yeah.
And so that's the only thing.
So
What's up, Phil?
there is a Pilsner that I do like better than this Live Oak Pills.
Okay, go on.
It's the Live Oak pre-Prohibition Pills.
Oh, okay. Well,
That one is fantastic.
we'll get into that in just a minute because there are variations on the Pilsner,
Mhm.
as most people watching the show probably know.
Oh, hold on a second. I'm about to get real close into the camera,
Uh-oh, close your eyes,
so
guys.
bear with me.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
All good.
There.
So you're saying
Well-
it's champagne-like?
When it
Well,
focuses,
yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So
look
yes,
at
yeah, we see it. It's yes. So effervescent, right? Just like champagne.
Mm-hmm.
That is why typically a Pilsner glass is going to be a flute-like glass. A true Pilsner glass is going to be like a flute. This is just a plain lager glass that I've got. But if you're going to go, super to style, you typically it looks like a champagne flute, or you can even drink it out of a champagne glass because the aroma is delicate because it's hop forward, but not so much. A true Czech Pilsner or Bohemian Pilsner is not dry hopped. It is just delicate, light, and effervescent. And the champagne flute puts it right up into your schnoz. Boom. So you get all that aroma. There you go. Okay. So that being said, I am drinking. I'm glad you asked.
Did we ask?
I am drinking. Yes. I'm drinking the original.
Oh.
Yes.
Where did you find that?
At my local HEB.
Well,
Sponsor.
my local HEB, also not a sponsor, did not have that.
Well, it's Pilsner or Cal. So here let's just get into all this Pilsner talk. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do
real
it.
quickly, Matt was just at your HEB, Josh.
Yeah.
And we have. Let me just go back to this one. So we have, if you notice,
Live Oak.
Matt's go. Yeah. So Matt,
check out how crystal clear that is. You can see.
Wow.
That
hold it just like that. Hold on. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Just hold on.
Oh no.
Everyone hit the screen grab right now because that is awesome. That's probably one of the coolest things we've ever seen on our show.
Beer filter.
Wow.
Just do the
That's gonna be our new that's gonna be our new graphic for the show. Right there.
Good. I would leave it up there the whole time, but
All right. So Matt, who went with us to B52, stomach's not agreeing with him after yesterday. Yes. Yeah. And Philip. Yeah.
Yeah, thank y'all for coming too.
Me either.
Yeah.
What's up, Jose? Jose watching.
I'm moving a little slow today, y'all.
All right.
Did y'all play a little too hard?
Yeah.
Well, here's the deal. We were literally at B52 from open to close.
My goodness.
It's like 12 to 7 or 8.
Was that mostly corn?
Yes, that's what their hours are.
Well, and they didn't really have much of a food truck, which was it was some Cajun food truck, but all they had was shrimp. So I don't think they were prepared for us.
Beers, B52.
I don't know.
No, it was a Creole truck.
Creoles.
Yeah.
They had no boudin.
Yeah.
They didn't have their shrimp and stuff was not spicy, which that's what you expect with Creole shrimp.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
And apparently they ran out of everything except shrimp.
Yeah.
The shrimp was like, you got 6 small shrimp for $12.
Shrimp.
Well,
yeah,
if you're there, here's pro tip. Ready?
Yeah.
If you're at B52 and the food truck runs out of food because people are just super hungry that day or whatever's going on, there's a catfish place right down 105. What is that place called? Like
Catfish Charlie's?
Something like that. It's fantastic. That's like the style of catfish I grew up on.
Oh, really?
So,
well, and I don't think we thought about it. It's like some people got food and then some people went to get food and that's when that was all that's left. And then it was kind of later and then it was like, too much effort now to get anything.
Yeah.
So, yeah, hindsight, we should have packed some food or something. But they did have a cool cake for me, which is really cool. And they had yeah, it was cute. I'll put up pictures on that.
What was the best beer you had?
I really liked their fest beer, and if it wasn't, because that's really my style, and I love all that. But otherwise, they had some tarts. They weren't smoothies, but they were calling them tarts. And one was a raspberry lime.
They had I think they had all the fruits and every single combination of fruit you could think of.
Yeah, it was good. It was very good. I think it was just like a tart beer. Oh, but they did have a really good IPA as well. really good.
A lot of range.
Yeah,
A lot of range.
Yeah,
they did.
I stuck with their. I mainly drank those dry hop pills that they have, which is really good.
Yeah.
But then towards the end of the evening, I drifted towards their pineapple sour IPA. That's probably what did me in.
I do think they had more of a range than usual. Sometimes they seem to only have one kind of very heavy on one style and not a lot of options. But I think they had a good amount of.
There you go. Boom. Well, good. All right.
Now,
well, let's throw all the options out the window and talk about one specific.
I do apologize. We are now doing nothing but Pilsner talk.
Yeah, sorry.
Why everyone's tuning in right now?
Yeah. So today, the birth date, I guess, as far as we know, almost as old as Kennedy. The Pilsner. So think about this. There was a time before there were Pilsners. There was a time when all beers were cloudy and dark and, I don't know, of varying degrees of quality. They didn't know really a whole lot about lagering. The yeasts were all ale yeast, and it was, although you drank them, you typically had to drink them through a straw. Did you know that?
No.
Because they had so much stuff floating in them, you had to get below the stuff. I mean, we're talking about back when Kennedy was, 10 or 11, back in like the 1600s.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So way back then. Kennedy, tell us what it was like.
Yeah. I mean, they're actually way older than the 1600s.
Yeah, I'm talking about what, back when it was before, actually. So anyway, let's talk about, do you have the picture of old Yosef?
I have all the pictures.
Yeah, we got Yosef Grohl. He's our guy. And this was
he is a nice looking gentleman there.
Cover model for Husky and Husky Monthly.
Husky Monthly.
Looks like he's got a nice comb over working there.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was just the style. I mean, I guess he might have been balding on top, but he looks like he has a pretty decent cover.
I think he has it. Yeah, he's
It looks
just using a side part.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a brewer though. It looks like he managed the brewery.
Yeah.
That's true. It looks like he drank a lot of the beer.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, back then, if the bigger you were, the more wealthy, So he was.
This guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy was the richest guy in town.
He was the George Bailey of Pilsen. Sorry, that's a Christmas reference. Jump the gun on that one. Anyway, this photo, of course, taken back in like 1840 something. We don't know when this is. I don't know if this was like a work picture for like his door card to get in through the magnetic gate, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. But anyway, so the Germans, right? Let's talk about the Germans in general real quick. They're very particular about their beer. If you guys have watched the documentary with what's his name? Greg, is it Koch or Cook from Stone Brewing? Anybody know? Somebody spell it out phonetically. I could look it up, but I think it's Koch. It's spelled Koch, but maybe it's Cook. Anyway, Greg, not Jim, Cook, founder of Sam Adams, but Greg, founder of Stone. Koch? I think it's Koch. I think he pronounces it Koch. Anyway, they decided they were going to go over to Germany and open up a Stone brewery over there. And as you all know, the history of Stone is aggressively hopped, angry beers. That's how they originally marketed their beers. Like Arrogant Bastard is, that whole thing.
What are you calling me?
Yeah. They called them angry, like they're just aggressively hopped. And if you didn't like it, then it was because you weren't good enough. And that was kind of this, nose in the air kind of, but with, with a smirk or whatever kind of approach to their marketing. Anyway, they went over to Germany. He's like, we're going to bring American craft beer revolution to Germany, and it's going to be amazing. And so they spent all this money building this beautiful brewery and beer hall and beer garden in this historic part of, I think it was Munich, south of Munich. And it was this old, I don't know, some sort of like factory or something, smelting. He who smelt it, dealt it, kind of. it was this. They had to do all of this work, and if you think like the red tape to get stuff done, like in a place like California, where they're Stone's out in Escondido, right? Is that Escondido? Maybe something like that. Anyway, maybe it's San Diego. I don't remember. It's somewhere. It's a place, California, close enough. Anyway, it's red tape. Compared to Texas, California has all the red tape, but it sounds like Munich, Germany, has California even out red taped. And so he had to go through all of this and spend millions of dollars just to get the place ready to build out. And then all those guys over there are like, union from 1,000 years back, right? These old craftsman unions and stuff. Anyway, it was just headache and heartache after heartache. And the people came out finally when he finally got the place open. Spoiler alert, if you're going to go watch it, it's worth watching it just to watch the emotional roller coaster. But anyway, after they finally got it open, the people were like, oh, these aren't like our Pilsners. These aren't these crisp, the lagers. These aren't lagers. These are okay. They're okay. And they said all that with like German accents. So
yeah.
Close your eyes and imagine. Or close your ears and imagine? I don't know. But anyway, so it didn't work out. Spoiler alert to the end of the movie, didn't work out if you watched any of it. And so now Brewdog owns that facility because Stone was like, going to take our stones and go home because these Germans are too into their lagers. And so, the different regions of Germany, you've got, there in the south, Hefeweizens. Everybody likes that good Hefeweizen, right?
Yes.
Jules, no? Not
Not so much. Yeah.
Okay.
They're not for everyone.
Then in there's in Berlin, you got your Berliner Weiss, right? Jules, you're a big fan of Berliner Weiss.
Not so much.
Okay. Well then in the Goslar region, you got those Gozas, right? You're a big fan of Gozas.
Right? Oh yeah, just all on that. No, I think I like the other part of Germany.
Pull up the map and let's see where Pilsen is. You have that map.
I do.
Let's see if we can find a region that Jules would be wanting to visit.
There we go.
Well, first of all,
yeah. Oh, there's the Czech Republic, right? Which is actually not Germany. So, but I think there was another one. It's right there by Germany, right? There should be another one closer in.
I know. I was trying to. There.
Yeah.
I was trying to switch it, and it wouldn't switch. There we go.
Okay. There you go.
That's the Czech Republic.
That is the Czech Republic.
To the west of the Czech Republic is Germany.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick so I can see it as well, because all that.
But Pilsen is kind of in the southwest region, I guess, of the Czech Republic.
Oh.
So right there in the orange.
Right. So that's I'm right next to Bohemia, and you've heard of Bohemian style. That's where you get the term Bohemian style Pilsner.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's in central Bohemia, South Bohemia, and then Pilsen. That's all. And so you have this Bohemian style, which if you look at what that actually is.
Yeah, it's a rhapsody of flavors.
That's actually... So the Pilsner is brewed with noble hops, but if it's a true classic Pilsner from like a Bohemian style Pilsner, should just be Saaz is typically what they use, just the Saaz hops. But anyway, back to the history at hand, and our guy Josef Groll. There was a story about the people of Pilsen got this really crappy beer, right? And they were tired of it. And this was like the whole town, all the townsfolk, right? The townsfolk came together. And it's, much like not like much like there's people marching around right now. Nobody burned buildings, but they did something that's almost as shocking to the system, especially for a German or a Czech. They poured beer out because it was so bad. Not just one beer, 36 kegs right there in front of town hall.
So they essentially did like the Boston Tea Party, but it was the Pilsner Party.
Well, they didn't dump out Pilsner. They dumped out old cloudy beer that was not Pilsner. So they were like, this was in when was this? It was like 1837 or something like that. And this is when this happened. It all came to a head. And they were like, oh, and then the city officials were like, we got to do something.
1838.
in swoops Josef Groll with his cape flapping in the wind. That guy, bring him back up if you can.
All right,
He comes
hold on.
swooping in and he says, "Hey."
I don't think he swooped.
He doesn't look like
No,
a
he's-
swooper.
I think
he
he kind of
does.
sauntered in.
He said, "Hey,
What?
everybody, I've got the answer to all your problems."
He more like he waddled in.
No, he swooped.
All right.
He came sprinting in, and he said, I got a thing for you here." And so they had a new collective brewery. He was the head brewer. He's like, "Let's start a brewery, everybody," and it's called Berger Brauerei. Berger Brewery, which just means citizens brewery or municipal brewery. So it's like if there was a Houston brewery that belonged to the folks.
That's cool.
Like a collective.
Kind of like a collective, only owned by the city, I'm imagining, and run by the city. Yeah. So probably super efficient.
I believe the cities actually owned a lot of the breweries back there.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Typical, European approach, right? Lots, like when I said, the red tapes, all the red tapes. But anyway, so they came in and they got this guy named Stelzer. What's his name? I got it right here in front of me, but I have to look up, so it's going to look funny. I can't find his name. Anyway, Martin. Martin Stelzer. Very German sounding name, Martin.
Martin.
Martin Stelzer. He had never built a brewery, but he looked at a lot of them. And he's like, you know what? I think I can do that. And so they built the brewery. He went around looking at the different breweries in Bavaria and Europe and things like that. And before this, one step back, my history lectures, probably I should have gotten an outline or something. But Josef had there were some new techniques for brewing or for malting. So there was a lot of interwoven factors that came about to give us Pilsner. So one, it was the malting techniques from England, right? So you didn't have to do like black patent malt was one that had been around for a while, and that's what gave us porters and stouts and things like that. And it exploded, and then onto the scene, and then you go down to Germany, and they have all those caves, right? So they sandstone. They're able to do the lagering techniques, which actually started in the monasteries. And so there's a legend that one of the monks years before was able to smuggle out a little bit of the lager yeast, which was, they had developed in the monasteries over years. Yeah, because what they think, and somebody else can correct me if I'm wrong. Oh wait, Foamy Head 13, Twisted X Brewing Pitmaster Pills. Everybody check your pills if you're, tell us what, and we're going to do a sound off and see which style of pills you're drinking. Because there's numerous kinds. We'll get to that in just a second. But anyway, so then, where was I at? Oh yeah, monasteries, right? So if my history is correct, and I remember from reading, which I read a lot, the ale yeast actually evolved to perform like a lager yeast, and then you eventually got lager yeast as a whole separate strain because they were fermenting at lower temperatures, and obviously the yeast that were more adept at fermenting at lager temperatures propagated, became prominent.
Yeah.
Anyway, they kept doing the hibbity-dibbity, and we got more yeast, right? And so they were you ferment cold too. Let's get it on. And so we got more lager.
I was gonna say the yeast. They were fans of the bottom. They weren't a top fan. They were bottom fan. Bottom fermentation.
Bottom fermentation, sort of, kind of. But anyway, that's there's some debate there too, if that's a proper description. That was kind of an old school description. But anyway, so eventually you got the evolution of these yeast into lager yeast, and then you got the caves and things in the sandstone down in below the cities there in Germany that you can actually carve into. And then you got the malting techniques in from England that Josef Groll had gotten keen on, and then the perk, the thing that made Pilsner so doable there in Pilsen was that soft water. They had very soft, delicate water. You couldn't make this style up and say like a Burton-on-Trent, which is the Burton water is the pale ale. So you're thinking harsh, not harsh, but like hop, like. But the Pilsen is a very soft, and so you can do a delicate beer that's very light and crystal clear, like this Pilsner Urquell, which Pilsner Urquell actually means is German for original, or the original. I don't know. The first to do it, first something. I don't know. Anyway, Pilsner Urquell. There you go.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, what date do they put on the 1842? So this is just after Josef Groll got his thing going, and then Pilsner Urquell kind of came along. But this is the Saaz hops, very much a that is the Czech style or Bohemian style Pilsner, the original style. And then they moved it on over to Germany, and the Germans started using more Hallertau and the other noble hops, and it's a little more. It has a little more bite to it, and it's a little darker, I believe, if my style critique is if it's all going up there. So you have the Czech style, and then you have the German style, and then all those German guys decided to head on over to America, right? Like Anheuser or Adolphus Busch, I guess, not Anheuser, he came along later, but Adolphus Busch and all those guys, Friedrich Miller and Larry Coors, whatever his name was. I think it was Adolphus Coors, actually. But anyway, they came over, and that was the style, but they didn't have the same kind of grain. So that 2-row grain over in Germany, not the same as the 6-row over here in North America. And so then they had to add the corn, which then became the American style Pilsner, and then Prohibition, and then the buyouts and all of that stuff. So like that pre-Prohibition Pilsner that Live Oak makes that you like so much, Kennedy,
I love it.
It's 6-row barley, and it has a little bit of corn in there, and I'm not sure what the hopping profile would be. I don't know. I guess they would have been hops up in the New York region and the Michigan region.
Let me call up Chip real quick.
Please do.
And get him to shed a little light on this.
Yeah. So anyway, and then then we all know the history of pre-prohibition. Then we had the travesty that was prohibition and the temperance movement, and then the after prohibition we were down to just a few hundred breweries, and then they started buying them out, and all the what do you call it, the buyouts, and the all that down to like 70 something breweries in the 70s or less than that.
I think it was as late as I think 1983 or something like that.
Wow.
There were only 70 breweries.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was like the darkest days. It's always darkest before the dawn, right?
Right.
And it was the dawn of the craft beer movement with Anchor, and then Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, and we had to, because we're Americans, right? We had to use what we had over here. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I first got into craft beer, imports, as we moved into craft beer, because craft beers were like amber ales and stouts and brown ales and things like that. That's kind of what you found, because what was that? Okay, Rudy. Oh, hey, Rudy. What's up, man? How was well, we'll get to all that Renaissance Festival talking in a little bit. Houston restaurant, way back in the day, Pilsner Urquell was mandated to be on tap at every location. It was the owner's favorite.
That's cool.
Yeah, one of the. Rudy said he's not a crispy boy. I'm going to call myself. I'm a crispy boy for sure. I love crispy beers. So Pilsner Urquell, people love it, but there's an issue with Pilsner Urquell, and this is funny. Like, this is interesting, but you see what color this bottle is?
Yeah, it's too clear, isn't it?
It's green. It's not green like Heineken green, but it's it'll let a beer get light struck. So we all know light struck is actually when the either the UV rays, or I don't know if it's UV rays or what, because fluorescent lights.
It's the UV rays that will skunk it.
Well, yeah, that'll do it quick. But the I guess, do fluorescent bulbs create UV rays? Because fluorescent bulbs will do it as well. So, but anyway, the glass bottles, they do a little bit taller 6-pack holder. Let me see if I can say that. So it's a little taller. Maybe not. Maybe I'm full of crap. It used to be taller, but this was on the top shelf. So
I thought, honestly, Josh, I thought it'd be taller.
Like Dalton.
Yeah.
Roadhouse. Anyway, it was on the top shelf, so I do get a little bit of little skunky.
So is that you? Oh, so it was on the very, very top shelf at HEB.
Yeah,
so you're thinking the light got on it.
I can understand.
I had to have somebody kneel down in the aisle. I had to run and jump off their back.
Imagine what I would do. I'd never be able to, see.
Yeah, Judy would have had to.
Scaling.
She would have asked for a ladder.
Yeah.
No, it was. But anyway, so yeah, it wasn't refrigerated. Wasn't so. That's the biggest knock on Pilsner Urquell. They did start canning it a while back. Jose wants me to do the whole thing in a German accent. This is my German accent. That's how bad.
And Jose also hasn't watched Roadhouse yet.
Well,
yeah.
That's his problem.
Yeah, it really is. So anyway, but the Pilsner, there he goes. Yeah, that's the original. Thanks for rolling that beautiful bean footage there. If you go to Pilsen, look at that. That's the old school. They've been brewing since forever.
Wow.
So yeah, what people are seeing there through the glass floor, that's probably where they're lagering their beers.
That's
They have
cool.
the original open fermentation vessel that Josef Grohl used.
Oh. Wow.
And there's some T-shirts because T-shirts.
I get the merch.
Well, yeah.
You gotta get.
Oh, it's cool. It's nice how it's like old and modern. Yes. That's cool.
So they've changed the how they've done it. That's the one thing where people
I like this part right here.
That's little sauce. People get a little concerned when they start changing things up because they would ferment, or I guess lager actually the Pilsner in wood foeders. So they would a cross between oak and beechwood. And then they moved to stainless steel because obviously stainless steel lasts a lot longer than wood. And as wood starts to, wear out, you think, all right, well, we're trying to make a whole bunch of this. So now I think they do like a half and half and blend kind of deal. But then they lager it down there in the caves underneath.
That's
still
cool.
in those are those big foeders, the big barrels.
So are they still lagering all their beers in barrels, wooden barrels?
Yeah.
Still today.
Yep.
All that beer that they
I don't know that all of it. I think it's like I said, I think it's half and half. The wood, which is a mixture. I don't know what the ratio is of oak to beechwood, but then they blend it with the stainless steel.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to get a different flavor profile if you're fermenting in wood versus stainless steel.
Yeah. So that's when they blend it. So I mean, does it taste exactly the same as it did back in 1840 or whatever?
No, there's no way. I mean, especially if they're using open fermentation.
Yeah, and you just have the evolution of like where they're growing their grain. If you use the same field every single year, you're going to get nutrient. It's going to leach out nutrients, and things are going to change in the way the grain is grown. The hops are not going to be the same year to year. I mean, there's just so much change over 100 years or whatever. So, or more than that, 102, almost 200 years, 170 years. So, yeah, that's a long time. But it's a delicious beer. Obviously, I've never had it right from the brewery, and they say that that's the best you can get it.
Oh, sure. I mean, after it being imported from Germany.
Czech Republic.
Oh, yeah, Czech. Sorry. You're right. The Czech Republic, and having, possibly being introduced to sunlight, it can be different.
Yeah, so a keg is, if you can find it on draft. I know that when Dean was doing Blake's Steaks up in College Station, which now they're going to be doing some of those steaks over at the grocer. The name escapes me right this second. I should have looked at my notes. But anyway, that's going to be in Bryan. What is the name of his little grocery store? Anyway, they're going to have Pilsner Urquell probably on tap because Dean loves that stuff.
That's cool.
Yeah, if you can get it on tap, it's going to be, you're not going to worry about skunking, but how fresh is it? That's the next question. Because, we've got a lot of really cool innovations when it comes to importation and things like that. But it's still a big old boat ride over. It's going to give it a couple of weeks. And then how was it handled? Is it refrigerated, shipping containers? And
I wonder how much do they have to, are they buying it straight from over there? Or is there like a midway distributor that they get from or something like that? Because it seems like you'd have to buy a lot to make it worth it to get a whole keg from there. You know?
Well, first you have to have an importer. So importer a lot like a distributor. I think you can have an importer's license and a distributor's license in some
Okay.
places, but it is basically the same. You'd probably have an importer that would bring it in and then get it out to distributors, so they bring in a whole
Okay,
bunch,
yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would make
so,
sense.
yeah.
And it was interesting. I was thinking back to where you got your bottles, and they were on the top shelf. I wonder the I won't call out where you got it or anything, but if places like that should, but really,
not
he already said.
I know,
it,
but
so.
I was trying to be subtle. But I mean, maybe that's like a stocking thing. Shouldn't they kind of know? I know that people pay product placement in stores, so there's that. But maybe they would also be aware that a lighter bottle you wouldn't want to put up next to the lights and things like that.
I think at this point with this beer, because who owns? They're not independent anymore. I believe they're owned by. They may be owned by. Are they owned by ABI now?
That'd be a shame. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Hold on, let me look. I'm gonna look it up because I've got a phone.
All right, look it up just real quickly. I'm gonna while you're looking that up, going off topic here for a second. Everyone, Rudy is playing.
Asahi, the Asian. Okay. They own like Hero, Kirin, all that. Big ones.
All right, Friday night, go check out Rudy and the band.
Homebrewed Brass.
And Homebrewed Brass. Friday at No Label, Saturday at Southern Star Brewing Company.
Cool.
If you've never seen the Homebrewed brass band, you're missing out because they're fantastic.
Yeah,
they do all these covers of like all these cool songs and stuff. But as a horn section.
Homebrewed Bass, completely different thing. They suck at playing instruments. They can't even get in the mouthpiece. Brr, you can't do it, but they sing. They sing well. Like take me to the river. Remember the bass?
You would think that like a bass would be good at playing an instrument since they got those big old mouths.
No, I'm saying they can't get it on the mouthpiece. Like you try to play something like a French horn or a trumpet or a flugelhorn.
They're not delicate enough.
Yeah, they can't fit those lips inside there.
So speaking of French horns, Julie.
Do
you know that one of us three used to play the French horn?
Josh used to play the French horn.
I did first chair Jonesboro High School band.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, played French horn and trumpet.
Cool. Mm-hmm. I didn't think it was you, Kennedy.
No, it was not me.
And I know it wasn't me.
It was definitely not me.
So Mary, it's Asahi owns Pilsner Urquell. But here's the thing. It's an awesome style. Is it the best with, say, I don't know, just a slice of pepperoni pizza? I mean, a slice of pepperoni pizza and a Pilsner? Is there anything better? I don't know.
That sounds good, actually.
It sounds fantastic, right? But we're lucky, yes, as you're holding right there, we have some fantastic Pilsners here in the great state of Texas. One of those would be, and I think chief among them, maybe Live Oak Pils. That is their Czech-style, Bohemian-style Pilsner. They also make their Gold, which is their German-style Pilsner, and their pre-Prohibition Pilsner, which is the American with a little corn. I don't know the hops, though. Another one would be Hans Pils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have, let's see.
Summer Pils.
Oh, yeah.
Summer Pils is actually a Helles.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's not even actually Pils. Because think about this. This is the controversial thing with saying, back when they were putting out their beers, when they first did them, they've been around long enough to where styles, people are like, well, it's close enough. Like Oktoberfest, not an Oktoberfest. Not a fest beer. They're Guten Tag. Nice. Right on the keyboard.
Why did you do that?
I was trying to get like a good pour.
Well.
Hey, if the sulfur goes up in smoke, it's...
No,
for sure. Use that, Kennedy.
No, don't.
Thanks. It spilled on my not good computer.
Yeah, that happens.
It is Jules.
Yes. So anyway, Pearl Snap from Austin Beer Works is a great one. Here in Houston, Dollar Pills, y'all. Holler Brewing is great. 5 o'clock Pills was the one from St. Arnold that's actually a Pilsner. Let me think. What else? Who else we got? Somebody do some shout outs.
Yeah, good Pills.
Pilsner's a great state of Texas. We did say Pitmaster from Twisted X. Foamy Head 13. John, you said that earlier. That is a good one. Let's see. Pearl Snap, I said.
But that is interesting. I do like a Hellas, Josh. Those are ones that I like a lot. So it's funny.
So there you go. Those are subtle differences. They're both lagers.
Uh-huh.
The hopping is going to be more delicate on the Hellas. It's going to be a little like on the less hop forward, more malty.
So that's it, and that's why I like. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. You got to find, and those are the things. Like Allstott makes that lager, which is fantastic. That's a Hellas.
Yes, I like that a lot too.
Yeah. Gold medal GABF along with their Kolsch. But
that's very good.
Yeah. Other prominent Pilsners. Blue Testament, American style Pilsner with that blue corn, right? From Back Pew.
I was going to say, yeah, from Back Pew. Okay.
Let's see. Southern Star.
Spring Pilsner.
Yeah, are they still making that one?
I don't know.
Let me think. Who else has a good Pilsner? Throw out suggestions, y'all. Throw them in there. Mary, what's your favorite? I want to know what Mary's favorite Pilsner, and I want to know, Mary, if you have that information off the top of your head, your best-selling Pilsner.
Hey, Danny Reed, I'm back just for today. I took today off for my birthday.
I just Googled top 10 Pilsners in Texas.
And what came up?
You basically said them all.
Was it something from Houstonia magazine or something?
It's Houston Beer Guide.
Oh, okay. Okay. You know what? Reputable source. What you got?
Yeah, I mean it has Payload Pilsner from B52, which they no longer make.
Was that the one that they came out with?
Yeah, I believe that's the one that won the award at the Katy Wild West Brew Fest.
That's cool.
Right, and there's Mama's Little Yellow Pills.
Oscar
Blues.
I guess technically now
not Texas.
Well, it's brewed in Austin. They have a place.
It's brewed in Austin.
It's setting up there. It says not Texas. That's what I was reading.
Well, this is from 2016.
Oh,
it's a bit dated.
Maybe. Yeah. Little Snack. There you go. Little Snack.
Yeah, Little Snack. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
From 11 Below. I believe that one has a little. Does that one have corn in it? It's been a minute since I had it. It's been like 7 beers since I've had it. Let's see who.
You've already had 7 beers today?
No. Well, yeah. No. I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah.
0 grains of one type or another.
Apparently,
I feel like we're missing a real obvious one.
Apparently, Little Snack's a big seller.
Yeah. No, I love the name of that beer, and it is like a good lunchtime beer. It's a great beer. That's typically Pilsners are going to be around 4.5%.
Yeah, I feel like Pilsner's like a good beer when your Miller Lite and Bud Light buddies come over and they're wanting beers.
You know, I would say a Hellas is probably going to be a better option. Yuengling most. Yeah, Mary just threw in that Yuengling.
Oh yeah.
Is Yuengling, is that a Pilsner? That's not. That's more of a.
Yuengling still isn't Yuengling still considered craft or
That's a distribution deal. I think they're still craft by the letter of the law.
I always thought they weren't considered craft, but independent.
They're independent.
Or maybe that's what. Sorry.
This might put them over the threshold. I don't think they're too worried about it.
No.
But
no.
Yeah. So let's see. What else?
But you still can't get it in Texas, right?
Yeah, you can get it now.
Oh, you can now?
I think so.
So Julie, being from Florida as she is, she gets a lot of Yuengling. They have a brewery in Florida.
Yeah, in Tampa, right?
And,
I believe Dick Yuengling has stepped aside for the most part. If you watched Beer Wars, and he's got like 4 daughters now. I think they're running the show.
Oh, that's cool.
So, yeah. So no, Dick got out, and the daughters are running it.
Oh.
So,
yeah, out with Dick.
Let's see. I feel like I'm missing an obvious Texas Pilsner.
I wouldn't dwell on it.
It's kind of the show topic today.
Yeah.
Well, I think you got Little Snack was the one I was thinking of, and then I forgot about.
The point being is there are plenty of options for Pilsner.
Yeah. You want to find it fresh? Lone Star. Lone Star. I guess that'd be an American.
I mean,
sort of, that's brewed in San Antonio. They're now Pabst is now going to be. They're hiring right now. If anybody's looking for a job, wants to live in San Antonio and work for Pabst. Pabst owns Lone Star and they own Pearl, and they've started putting out Pearl Lager, I guess.
Okay.
But they're going to be based in San Antonio. They're moving all their stuff to San Antonio.
Oh,
I mean,
interesting.
and we're missing the big. I think I know what you're thinking of. The big Pilsner. What nobody wants to
Budweiser?
say. That you don't want to say is Miller Lite.
Oh yeah, triple hopped, right? Triple hopped through that Vortex bottle and with anti-glug.
Does Carbach have one that you guys are thinking of that nobody wants to say?
No. Is it?
They? No.
I don't know.
No, Miller.
What's their summer?
They had
What's the love
sympathy
one?
for the lager.
Love Street is
Love Street is
Love Street's a Kolsch.
a Kolsch.
Kolsch style.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't had them, so.
They had sympathy for the lager. I don't know. It didn't say Pilsner, so that might have been kind of a hybrid kind of deal.
But is it Miller Lite? Isn't it promoted as being a Pilsner?
It is an American style Pilsner, triple hopped with whatever type of hops they used.
They use hop.
They probably use hop extract or something, but whatever. No,
And a bunch of rice.
No, they use corn. Rice is Bud Light.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What else? I feel like I feel like there's something obvious hanging out there. It's like up in my brain. I feel like I've been running around, with. What about?
Jose says the hops are rice.
And that's their hop of choice. Like we doubled the rice. That's like a hop.
They're
both plants.
They're both plants. Yeah.
Listen,
they're both organic.
When I was drinking macro beers back when I was a wee lad, just 20 years old or 21 or whatever, Miller Lite was my macro beer of choice.
Oh, even back then when I was like chugging the Bud Lights and the Keystone Light, I couldn't stand Miller Lite.
I liked Miller Lite. That was mine.
We've never. Those beers are not great, but
they were cheap.
Well, yes, but you have to tip your hat to their consistency and all that kind of stuff. Whatever.
I
would like to do the beer war. Speaking of Dick Yingling, he was in Beer Wars, and when all this stuff kind of came about, Beer Wars was a big deal, right? Annette Bering, I believe, was the lady that Annette Bering, I believe, was her name. That movie's over 10 years old now. And it was right when Miller Coors did their. So Anheuser-Busch got bought out by not ABI, it would be InBev, right? So it became ABI, and then Miller and Coors became Miller Coors, which is now Molson Coors and all that kind of stuff. And so that was right when that happened. That was like a footnote to that documentary, and that's like 11 years ago. And so in that movie, she went around and was like, "Can you tell the difference between the main, big three light beers?" And they blind taste tested, and most people were like, "I'm a Bud guy, I'm a Miller guy," and they couldn't pick the right one.
They all tasted the same.
You know the saddest part about that whole thing?
What?
Is that Annette couldn't have any kids.
Couldn't have any kids?
Yeah, she can't have kids.
Why is that sad?
Because she's barren.
Well, I thought you were misspeaking. That's a horrible joke. But I thought that you were actually going to say she can't drink beer in that documentary. She can't have alcohol. She's allergic to alcohol.
Oh shit, that's sad.
I thought, oh, he just misspoke. Have you seen Beer Wars?
No.
It's worth watching. It's a cool flashback to like Sam Calagione of Dogfish Head when he's first, really coming into prominence, and Jim Cook from Sam Adams is there, and his business partner is one of the main people they follow. I can't remember her name. Anybody remember? Anybody? Anyway, she tried to do that was when like caffeinated beers became a thing for about 10 minutes.
Oh, God.
What? Really?
Yeah, it was just a short little thing. It's like what am I thinking of? The Brute IPA. It lasted about as long as a Brute IPAs. Hers was shot.
I don't hate Brute IPA.
I was gonna say I kind of like Brute.
They're not. You don't see anybody brewing them anymore. Or
No,
if you do, it's
no.
a one-off kind of deal.
No, they came and went pretty quickly, but I enjoyed them.
Antithesis of the hazy IPA, which I feel like hazy IPAs have evolved to like Hazy IPAs are they're on like their 5th album by now, and they're kind of it's like I don't
Yeah.
know if this one's for me. It doesn't remind me of that first album, and
Yeah,
they're trying to
yeah.
find their way, but they're like we can't make the same music over and over. And
Yeah, they
uh,
like they've sold out.
I think they've kind
no,
of
not
calmed
they
down.
haven't sold out. They haven't sold out. They're just trying to find their way. It's like Pearl
Mhm.
Jam. That 5th, 6th album was like, is it good? I mean, if you didn't have the first 3 albums in mind when you first listened to them, maybe you would be like, oh, this is good. But it's not that.
Yeah.
I'll say their 5th album was my favorite, honestly. Yield. Sorry. We're completely afield.
All right.
But
So this has been an episode of Liquid Lunch, and we'd like to thank everyone for watching today. On this note, we got to go. Bye.
what?
I'm kidding.
That's not an outro.
No, you said Pearl Jam's best album was their 5th album, Yield.
Yeah, it is. My
It
favorite.
is.
It is not.
I like it. I like it better.
Hey,
Given to Fly.
Mercy Beers.
Another
Yeah,
beer.
what's up, bud? Hey, Mercy Beers, favorite Pilsner. What is your favorite Pilsner? We've been
Yes.
talking
Pilsners today.
Yeah, and what's your favorite Pearl Jam album?
Hi, Mercy Beers.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite Pearl Jam album there, Ken?
Mine?
Yeah.
10. By far. The best one. By far. Hands down.
I don't think so. I think they're more evolved musicians later on.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I was gonna say it. Who said that? Philip said that? Philip just said that. I don't know. Philip does not agree with one of us. He didn't say specifically. I assume it's he.
I guess you guys can try to figure out which one he did.
Josh or I discredited my music. Discredited my music credibility.
I heard somebody, or not heard. I saw somebody post the other day.
Oh.
Evolved doesn't make better. Whatever. Personally, I enjoy Yield more. I like Given to Fly. I like what else is on that album? Off the top of my head, Wish List, is that on there? I think so. Anyway, that was when I was working in radios when that came out, so I heard all those songs a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Reminds me of, and that's when I met Kelly.
See, that's why you like it so much, because it reminds you of good old days and your prime and, the best days of your life back then.
Here's Jose, not a Pearl Jam fan.
I get that. They're a little pretentious.
Not for everyone.
I don't know. No, that's a little different, Philip, because the Metallica Black album is not the same as the 10. 10 was Pearl Jam's first album. If that's their best album, they're not a very good band. So Pearl Jam's a very good band. If their first thing out of the gate.
I think Phil's pointing out that every album since the Black album from Metallica has been absolute dog shit.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm not a huge.
Not great.
Fan. I'm okay. I'm like they're okay, right?
No.
Whatever.
I 100% agree with you, Philip. There. After the Black album, it just sucked. I can't listen to any of that anymore.
None of it. What about the one with the orchestra? They're about to redo. They're going to do another one.
No.
Didn't like it.
And even the Black album, not my fave.
Okay, you like the old school stuff.
Yeah.
Seek and Destroy and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is that your favorite Pearl Jam's? I mean, Metallica song.
My favorite Metallica album?
No, song.
What?
Your favorite Metallica song?
Oh, my favorite Metallica song?
Yeah.
I'm going with Master Puppet.
All right, it's all right.
Did you just say it was all right?
Yeah, they all kind of sound the same after all.
I was gonna say they all kind of, and isn't that like that's like the classic one? I mean, I even know that one.
I like the Seek and Destroy riff. I just wish it was just that on a loop for a while. It's not. Anyway, all right, we should wrap because don't you have to go do things?
One.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah, one. That's a great song too. I mean, it's a toss up.
Did you ever hear? Let's see, what was it? Yeah, one. Chris Cornell sang the. It was the U2 version of One, with the lyrics from the Metallica One. It's pretty good. You know the song One.
Yeah.
right? There's a U2 song called One, right?
Oh, U2.
Yeah.
I thought you said YouTube.
Me too. That's what I thought.
You can find it on YouTube.
Okay.
It's him it's just him. He's playing acoustic, but he plays the U2 song, the music, melody, and then he uses the Metallica.
Oh, interesting.
And
Hi,
and it's
Misty.
Chris Cornell. So there you go. All right.
Where's Misty?
All right.
Oh, hey, Misty.
I got an episode of Interbrews to record coming up here in just a little bit.
Okay.
And, you're a nerd. If you're a Lord of the Rings nerd, it's gonna be right up your alley.
We were all thinking the same thing. We all thought you said YouTube, not U2. So, yeah, we got you, Jose. We were thinking the same thing.
So, when you do your interview, 2 questions to ask.
Maybe.
Best Pearl Jam album and best Metallica album.
Who are you interviewing? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Well, I didn't say, but it's Dr. Louis Marcos. He's a professor at HBU, Houston Baptist University, and he teaches courses on both C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, and he does a whole semester on Lord of the Rings.
Oh, wow.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Well,
Keenan and I the other day when we did Dogfish Head 60-minute. Here's how this all started. We're talking about Dogfish Head 60-minute IPA is one of our required drinking episodes, out now if you want to go see it and watch it. That came out in 2003, and that's the same year that Return of the King came out and just swept all those awards, right? And was one of the biggest movies of all time. And anyway, so we just started talking about Lord of the Rings. And of course, Lord of the Rings revolves around, everything starts from the prancing pony there in Bree, where they go on their adventure from there. Same thing with The Hobbit, in the movie anyway, with Gandalf and Thor and Oakenshield meeting at the prancing pony in Bree. Anyway, all great stories start with a beer, right?
There you go.
Beer, and he is a master storyteller and super enthusiastic, and I can't wait to talk to him because it's gonna be fun because he's super smart, and we'll try to tie it into beer, and we'll see what happens.
Cool. So, that sounds neat.
Philip doesn't think that he'll be a Pearl Jam or a Metallica fan.
I don't know.
I bet he's Metallica. Probably not Pearl
Jam. We'll see. Maybe. I'll ask him what he's into musically, and then we'll go from there. But yeah. See, yeah, Star Wars started with a glass of milk, and that's why it's such an awful story. So.
I guess it's better than a salad, though. But.
Yeah. That was what movie is salad? That'd be all the Star Trek movies, I guess. Anyway. All right, let's wrap it here. We'll come back on Thursday. Are you going to be in house here Thursday, Kennedy?
Yeah. That's
okay.
Just
checking. All right. We're streaming today. Jules, I'm so glad you got to be on today.
Thank you. I'm glad I was able to as well. I took today off from work, and so I don't feel guilty or anything. So, so it's cool. It's nice to see everybody again and talk to y'all and be a part of this. I miss it.
Fun. Yeah. All right. I'm going to hit some music. And then
and I just want to quickly say thanks to everyone who came out and joined us at P52 yesterday.
Yes.
It meant a lot to Julie, and it meant a lot to me.
Yeah, thank you guys. I feel so loved.
Good thing. All right, everybody go grab Pilsner and enjoy it. And thanks for listening to our nerdery. And more nerdery on the way. And we'll see you on Thursday. Kennedy, great job. Jules, so good to see you. Everybody, thanks for watching. We'll see y'all real soon for Liquid Lunch.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.
Bye, everybody.